This week I will be reviewing Braxton Family Values, Season 5, Episode 24. And this episode was about a blended family. This is an issue that 1 out of every 3 Americans deal with. And I must say, 1 out of every 3 Americans handles it different. So let's talk about it. Child, things got real good this week. This episode had to deal with a blended family. Now, divorce is a common thing here in America. Well, I mean, staying married is the uncommon thing. Divorce is just normal here. I mean, normal. And so many people go through it, it's insane. And like I said in the intro, everybody handles it in a different way. So let's talk about how the Braxtons dealt with it. The episode starts out with Vince and little cute Logan coming to the hotel by surprise. Tamar knew, but the other sisters and Miss Evelyn didn't know. And then they show Mr. Braxton getting off the bus with his new wife. Now, because I'm going to keep this respectful. His new wife, Wanda. And the first person they run into is little cute Logan. Logan is a spitting image of Vince. It's starting to get creepy. I mean, just like him. So he gets out the pool, he runs over to his grandfather, and, he's like, Papa, hi, how kids are. And his grandfather told him to keep this a secret. Don't let your mother know that we're here. Now, see right there, I see, that was in the first 5 minutes, so I'm already mad. Like, you do not tell a kid to keep your secret. And first of all, why are you just showing up? Why couldn't you call? What kind of game are you playing, Papa Braxton? Okay, I don't get it. Like, you cannot, that is not a surprise. Like, don't I see her? I mean, I do not. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't the only one, but I just thought it was an inconsiderate move, a selfish move. One of his many. He seems to kind of be a selfish person. Now, I ain't trying to be mean, but adultery is a selfish move. And it's not just a selfish move, it's a damn sin. Everybody knows it's a sin. And it's a sin with serious repercussions. And one of the repercussions is you hurt everybody around you. While you claim you're so in love, you affect other family members. You drag friends into this mess. Adultery is a sin for a reason. Because it is next to suicide, I would say one of the most selfish acts a person can do. So he committed the second selfish act. He's going to bring his new wife because he's ready to get this over with. And then, as if that enough, leave the secret with baby Logan for him not to tell anybody. Now I'm just going to move on to the next segment because I don't want to go off on him the whole review. So thank God Logan's learning at an early age to not listen to his grandfather. So what does he do? The first thing he does is he tells his grandmother. So Mrs. Evelyn invites, it was Trina and Tawanda down for some drinks, and right away they could tell something was wrong, and she informed them what baby Logan told her, and she said she didn't want to be around them. She was really upset because she felt like they were invading her space. And they were. Like, no call, no nothing. This was all about him, what Papa Braxton wanted. He didn't give a damn about nobody else. He wanted everybody to start liking and respect Miss Evelyn like she wasn't no, I would say stank, but that's a strong word. Like adulterer that has now took Evelyn's man and married him. So no, he's ready to get over this. He just wants to move on. And he doesn't give a damn how anybody else feels about it. Well, Miss Evelyn has moved on, but she chooses not to buddy up with you guys and play house. Like, she does not have to be your friend. Like, if you do something wrong, forgiveness is not an automatic. Like, people need to write that down because it seems to be the perpetrator that's always saying when you're going to get over it. She's over it, but getting over it doesn't mean y'all have to have tea time, and I don't blame her. So she got the hell out of there, and I'm glad. Like, I would have been right behind her even if I was her daughters. But the other daughters chose to stay, and that's their prerogative. And because when bad things happen to you, you are allowed to act any way You're allowed to handle things in your own way. And if you're ready to forgive and forget, Toni, then you're ready to forgive and forget. But if you want to forgive but can't forget, Tamar, then you're allowed to do that too. So let's talk about everybody's side effect of selfish Papa Braxton. So, unlike other reality shows, this reality show is extremely real. It's not scripted. Because, you know, these days, a lot of them are scripted. Or, if not scripted, encourages bad behavior. This is what I like about the Braxton show. It's not scripted, and they don't act a fool for ratings. Everything is organic and natural. So, all the girls decided to have dinner to discuss what's going on with Papa Braxton's unexpected visit with his new wife. So they all sit down at the table, and Toni is the first one to speak, and she announces to the group that she invited Papa Braxton and I'm not going to call her Stain. What did I say I was going to call her? Wanda. Miss Wanda to the dinner. Now, see right there, Toni, dead ass wrong. I was like, I would be livid if you did that to me, if you were my sister, because what if I wasn't ready to talk to them? Like, you don't do that. But it actually turned out to be a good thing. So let's talk about it. Papa Braxton and Miss Wanda gets to the table, Toni's very polite. You know, she's always composed and pulled together and tried to make small talk at first. I believe Tamar's extremely quiet. Trina's quiet. Well, everybody was quiet except for Toni. Now that I'm thinking about it. So Toni leads the conversation. She says, you know, I'm glad you guys came to dinner because we never really got to talk. And I thought, oh my God, Toni, what are you doing? Because obviously Toni was ready to talk, but she was the only one. So I felt that she just like threw this on everybody. But she opened up the can of worms and everybody started talking and giving their feelings. So they started with, you know, talking about how it's really hard to accept her because of what happened and, you know, how she was brought into this marriage and, you know, and it's mostly Toni at this point. And, you know, how it's, she's trying to get over it, but it's very hard. So, you know, in the end, I end up liking Toni. I like Toni. I was mad that she forced this dinner on everyone, but it was very good. So everybody starts speaking their piece. So the father says, well, you know, what I did was a long time ago, and, you know, I couldn't help it. You know, things wasn't so good between me and your mother. And he seems to say that a lot, as if that's an excuse to do the things he did and the hurt his family in the way that he did is that, well, this marriage was over anyway. That's not true. If it was over, you should have got out of the marriage in the proper way and handled it like an adult. And so someone finally brings up, well, how come you didn't come to my wedding? Now, I can't, and they're talking about Trina's wedding. And I don't know who brought it up first, but Tamar got involved. And you know how Tamar is. When she started talking, she started getting really emotional. And so everybody started telling Papa Braxton and Miss Wanda how hurt and devastated they were. And basically, what they basically said is, your actions, Papa Braxton and Wanda, cut us to the core and left us with wounds, and these are the wounds. They were crying. They were saying, Tamar asked him, how could you leave your children? Trina said, why weren't you at our wedding? I think everybody spoke except Tracy. Tawanda was saying, you know, it was very uncomfortable. And these girls were crying. And so when Tamar felt like she had enough, she stood up and she said, how could you do this to us? How could you leave us like this? What she wanted him to acknowledge and to see is that you permanently changed us forever. And I feel it was a good thing to do, to get your feelings out and let them know this is the damage that you caused, and I'm allowed to talk about it. Because every time he's around, you notice he goes, that's the past, that's the past, that's the past. As if they're not allowed to talk about it anymore. Yeah, it's the past. You're right. But this is the side effects of the past. So it got really heated, and Miss Wanda got up and walked out the room. And I think she got up and walked out the room because it's hard to realize when you have permanently damaged someone. And to me, she was acknowledging what she did when she walked out. But Papa Braxton just kept refusing to the very end. He was like, I'm a man. You don't understand. I'm not married to you. It was just kind of insensitive. And it just went on and on and on. Tamar ended up walking out the room crying. Miss Wanda went first. She went second. And then it didn't stop until Toni said, well, okay, you're our father. We still love you, but we wanted you to know how we felt. But I will always love you. And that's Toni. Toni's a classy lady. But I don't look down on Tamar either for saying, you know what? This happened, and I'm never going to be able to trust you again. That's all she was saying, is that I will never be able to trust you again. And so that's how the dinner ended, with everyone basically crying and spilling their emotions. And then they showed what happened after the dinner. They showed they showed Papa Braxton and Miss Wanda in their room, and she was really sad, Mrs. Wanda. But she should be sad. She really destroyed that family, and Papa Braxton was really consoling her and acting like, they'll get over it in time. And for me, he just never really acknowledged what he was doing, what happened then, and what's happening now. And what's happening now is you are forcing these women to try to accept this woman, but she's your new family. She's not theirs. And that just comes with the consequences of what happened. And you act like everyone's holding on to the past. No one's holding on to the past. This is the future. And the future is you have a wife that you love very much, and you have children that's not so interested. That's just the way it is. We can't be one big happy family. And just like you said, the past is the past, and the future is the future, and that's the future. So, but it ended on a good note with all the girls at the pool talking about the dinner, how crazy it was, and they ended up doing like they always do. Every episode is laughing and being sisters in the end. Like, I love this show, and I love these group of women and their sisterhood. It's not always perfect, but it's extremely, extremely strong. So that's what happened this week. I thought it was really good. I loved it because although we're watching their life, they are not the only people that go through this. I mean, like I said, 1 out of every 3 Americans have to deal with the whole blended family thing, and it's a mess, child. It's a mess. So I loved watching it. So thanks for watching. I'll be here next week. Until then, talk to you next time. Bye.